Hey folks, this is the Dorman Report coming to you on June 3rd. I believe it's episode 9, and today I want to start a movement for gun reform. I want on June 17th. It's a Saturday, and the following Sunday, and every weekend thereafter, I want you to go out there and wear something red. Every Saturday, every Sunday, or Saturday, or Sunday, wear something red to stop the slaughter. Let everybody know that if you're in a movie theater, that's what you could have been looked like getting shot in a movie theater. If you're in a church, that's what you could have looked like getting shot in a church. If you're at a nightclub, if you're at a school especially, let everybody know what it looks like to be covered in blood. And I'm sorry, that's the way it's got to be. It's got to be graphic. It's got to be almost gross. June 17th, I want this to start. I want you to make this go viral. I want you to share this on your YouTube. I want you to share this on Facebook. It's the only way we're going to get the politicians to change the law. And I want every politician to sign a pledge. Doesn't matter if they're Republican. Doesn't matter if they're Democrats. Doesn't matter what their views are on any other issue. We need all the politicians to sign a pledge, realizing that if they don't sign the pledge, they're not getting your vote. They're not getting your vote if you don't sign the pledge on this one particular issue. That there have to be background checks. There have to be waiting periods. There has to be, if necessary, some kind of taking a look and see if a person has mental issues. We want gun safety. There's absolutely no reason, none whatsoever, why we cannot have a Second Amendment in the 21st century and have it safe for every American to own a gun, as long as they pass a few simple steps. Go back to my previous episode. I want you to watch it again. Remember, what was the reason for the Second Amendment? It was in the colonial days so people could eat, they could provide for their family. That was the number one issue. Overthrowing a government, wars with foreign countries. These were considerations way down the list. Way down the list. Remember, in Europe, you could not own a gun. Only for royalty, only for the rich, only for the lords. They controlled the food market that way, and that controlled what job you had. Here in America, we decided you're going to own a gun, you're going to be able to hunt or protect your food crops, and then maybe you'll go on to be a carpenter, a blacksmith, a lawyer, a doctor, anything. But once you could control your family's eating habits and feed them so they didn't have an empty belly every night, you could move on to bigger and better things. And that's what I want you to do. I'm going to keep this short today. June 17th is a Saturday in honor of my wife who just passed, Darlene. Her birthday is on the 15th. I want you on the 17th, the 18th, and every weekend thereafter to wear something red to stop the slaughter. Stop the slaughter. Become a Patreon on my Patreon page. Send me a couple of bucks so I can make up t-shirts and move this website into a 21st century type production, which it is not yet, but I think I'm getting my message across. But please subscribe. Please share. Please like. We have to stop the slaughter. I know it sounds nasty, but it's graphic, but that's what it is. When you have 20 children laying in pools of blood, that's what it is. That's what it's looked like. They don't show you that on TV, but that's what the first responders see. All right? Did you know that 3 minutes after Joe Biden gave his address last night on gun safety, there was a call out for another shooter at a church, another mass shooting in Iowa? We're having more than one mass shooting every day, and it has to stop. And I am in no way telling people they can't hunt, they can't go target practice. We want people to do this safely We want to preserve your Second Amendment. But remember, back in colonial days, you had one shot. A ball and a musket, maybe a pistol. Every 30 seconds, if you were well trained and good, you could get a shot off every 30 seconds. If you missed that deer, you had to wait for another deer to come around. Okay? It's not 30, 60, 100, 600 rounds a minute. It's completely different. And I do not believe this is what the founders intended. They intended you to be able to eat, maybe protect yourself against wild game, wild animals in your home, possibly in the outskirts of a town or in the wilderness. That was their main concern. Okay? Share, like, become a Patreon. Thank you so much, and do this. June 17th, June 18th, every weekend after that, let's start a movement. Stop the slaughter. Thank you. This has been the Dorman Report.